And we've talked a little bit about this before, but Boston is because of it's a university city, it's full of transplants, right? And so we're in New England, right? And so when you have like BU, Harvard, BC, blah, 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 blah. A lot of those kids, let's say, I'd say a lot of them, come from just greater New England, right? Like the East Coast, they're just like, that's the school that they're supposed to, because they're from Buttfuck, Mass, or like from Maine. They're like, okay, like the school that's close enough, or that's really good is BU, BC, whatever.
Go to the city.
Go to the city, yeah, right? There's no reason to go to UCLA because you have Northeastern. You know what I mean?
Right. So
you have all these transplants from these no-name ass towns that have really no culture, right? They have nothing to do. For them, going to Boston is like going to fucking New York,
Yeah.
And so when you have a bunch of people like that have no real like individualized culture from where they're from, and they all come together in this one city at one time at 18 years old when they're nice and ripe, they're all trying to just like look at each other and look at like what the culture is. And so most of them are kind of just like following with the crowds of like maybe the kids at sophomores, juniors, seniors, right?
Right.
So then it all becomes this uniform thing, right? And then when they go out, they're all on this uniform thing that's like based on something that they like saw or learned. It's not something that it's not their own culture.
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
So when the whole city is like that, and then they all come out at these venues, they want the most generic and mainstream shit because that's all they've been able to learn in the last semester.
Right.
So as a DJ, we know what has to, at the end of the day, move the bar, move the tables, you know what I mean? Because we want to get booked again. We can try and keep being like, hey, I'm going to teach you this every night. I'm going to like break these records because you should know this. Then we're not going to get asked back.
Right.
And so when you give us that crowd, we have to adjust to that.
We're servants of the people.
We're serving to the people.
I say it all the time.
You go to Atlanta, where all they have is culture. There are songs that only people in Atlanta know.
Dude.
And they don't want to hear anything that is big in LA, in Miami.
They break records in Atlanta. Who's breaking records in Boston?
And they love hearing Atlanta rappers.
Yeah,
they only want
it.
Like,
yeah,
that's how like the Migos got up. Gucci walk like
Lil Baby.
Little bit. That's because it was all these local dudes that were like, this is our shit, and this represents our culture because they're from here and we're from here, and we don't need transplant.